February 1959. Deep in the frozen Ural Mountains of Russia, 9 experienced hikers set out on a journey. Only one would return alive. Weeks later, rescuers found their tent, ripped open from the inside, their bodies scattered across the snow, some barefoot, some half-dressed, one without a tongue, another with a crushed skull. No footprints of an attacker, no clear signs of a struggle, and temperatures below -30 degrees. To this day, no one can fully explain what happened at Dyatlov Pass. The expedition was led by 23-year-old engineering student Igor Dyatlov. The group consisted of 8 men and 2 women, young, strong, and experienced in winter survival. Their goal? To earn advanced hiking certifications by crossing a remote section of the northern Ural Mountains. One member, Yuri Yudin, turned back early due to illness. That decision saved his life. The remaining 9 continued toward a mountain known by the indigenous Mansi people as Kholat Syakhl. Translation: Mountain of the Dead. January 27, 1959. The hikers boarded a train heading north. Spirits were high. They sang songs, took photographs, wrote in journals. Their last known photograph shows them laughing in the snow. On February 1st, they began climbing toward Kholat Syakhl. The weather worsened. Strong winds, heavy snowfall, freezing temperatures. Instead of descending into the forest for shelter, they pitched their tent high on the exposed slope. That decision would become critical. The group was expected to send a telegram once they completed the route. No message came. Days passed, then weeks. Families grew concerned. On February 20th, search teams were organized, students, volunteers, and eventually the Soviet military. What they found shocked everyone. February 26th, searchers located the campsite on the slope of Kholat Syakhl. The tent was partially buried in snow, but something was wrong. It had been sliced open from the inside. All belongings were still there. Boots, coats, food, cameras. Why would experienced hikers cut their way out of a tent in a blizzard without putting on shoes? Footprints led away from the tent, barefoot, in socks, some in a single boot. They walked, they did not run. About a mile away, under a cedar tree at the edge of the forest, rescuers found 2 bodies, Yuri Doroshenko and Yuri Krivonishenchenko. They were barefoot, wearing only underwear. Their hands were burned. Nearby branches were broken up to 15 feet high, as if someone had climbed the tree desperately. Between the cedar and the tent, 3 more bodies were discovered, including Igor Dyatlov. They appeared to be trying to return to the tent. They never made it. Cause of death? Hypothermia. But the mystery was only beginning. 2 months later, in May, the remaining 4 hikers were found, buried under snow in a ravine. These bodies showed extreme injuries. Lyudmila Dubinina had broken ribs and her tongue was missing. Semyon Zolotaryov had a crushed chest. Nikolai Thibault-Brignol suffered a severe skull fracture. Yet strangely, there were no external wounds matching the force required to cause such trauma. One investigator described it as similar to injuries from a car crash. Some of the victims' clothing tested positive for radiation. Several witnesses reported seeing glowing orange spheres in the sky that night. The Soviet military had been testing experimental weapons in the region. Was this a classified operation gone wrong, or something else? The official Soviet conclusion in 1959? The hikers died due to a compelling natural force. No further explanation. Case closed. Or so they claimed. For decades, the leading explanation was an avalanche. A slab of snow may have shifted, terrifying the hikers. They cut open the tent and fled to avoid being buried. But here's the problem. There was no significant evidence of a major avalanche. The tent was still standing. footprints remained intact for weeks, and the slope was relatively shallow. Still, in 2020, Russian authorities reopened the case. Their conclusion? Avalanche. Many remain unconvinced. During the Cold War, the Soviet Union conducted secret weapons tests, parachute mines, explosive shockwaves, experimental rockets. A powerful air blast could explain the internal injuries without visible wounds. It could explain the radiation. It could explain the secrecy. But no official records confirm this. If it was military-related, the truth may still be classified. Another theory suggests a natural phenomenon called infrasound. High winds passing over the mountain could have created low-frequency vibrations. These vibrations may cause panic, paranoia, and irrational behavior. The hikers could have fled in terror without knowing why. But would infrasound cause fatal injuries? Unlikely. Early suspicion fell on the indigenous Mansi tribe, but there were no signs of struggle, no foreign footprints, and the Mansi were known to be peaceful. Authorities quickly dismissed this theory. Some believe the hikers encountered a mysterious creature. Photographs taken by the group include a blurry image of what appears to be a shadowy figure, but no physical evidence supports an animal attack. And again, no extra footprints. Could the group have turned on each other? Arguments, jealousy, panic. But their journals show unity, friendship, trust. There's no evidence of violence among them. In recent years, scientists used computer simulations and forensic analysis. A 2021 study suggested a rare type of avalanche known as a slab avalanche could have occurred. Small, but powerful enough to cause injury. Combined with freezing temperatures and darkness, survival chances were slim. Yet even this explanation does not answer everything. Why leave the tent without proper clothing? Why were some bodies arranged carefully in the ravine? Why the radiation? Yuri Yudin lived with survivor's guilt the rest of his life. He visited the site decades later. He believed there were secrets the government never revealed. He died in 2013, still searching for answers. Today, the mountain pass is officially named Dyatlov Pass. A monument stands in memory of the 9 hikers. Tourists visit the site. Researchers continue to debate. The snow has long since melted, but the mystery remains frozen in time. What force could drive 9 trained hikers to flee into a deadly blizzard, half-dressed? Was it nature? Was it human? Or something we still don't understand? On that silent February night in 1959, something happened on the slopes of Kholat Syakhl. 9 lives ended, and the truth may still be buried beneath the snow. 9 lives were
lost on this mountain.
Fade to black.
May still be lost
The
on this
Dyatlov
mountain.
Pass Incident.
The truth may still
one
lie
of the
hidden
most
beneath the
chilling,
snow.
unsolved mysteries in modern history.